Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be showing us how to make this bodycon strap dress. So we're going to use the vertical and horizontal measurements of the body, and because of the strap we'll be taking 4.5 inch from the length measurement. So every other measurement will start from that 4.5 inch, and then we'll measure the bust length, the waist length, the hip length, the dress length. So the waist, hip, dress length are gotten from the specific person's measurement. But the bust length, you do the round bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So for this measurement, it's 36 divided by 6 plus 1.5. So that's 36 divided by 6, that's 6 plus 1.5 is 8.5. But because I'm doing a sleeveless, like a strap dress, I'm going to be subtracting 1 from that to get the bust length. So I've just marked the lines for all my vertical measurements, and then I'm joining them across, just so I have those lines for reference points to draw my pattern. So once I draw my lines, I'm going to start taking my horizontal measurements. So your horizontal measurements, those are your round body measurement, the round bust, the round hip, the round waist. Oh, sorry, here I forgot to put in my bust length. So you just put in your bust length, then I start applying my horizontal measurements. So your round waist, round bust, round hip, those measurements you divide by 4, because this pattern is it's folded in 4. So I'll divide my round bust by 4, my round waist by 4, and apply it, including my allowance. I'm just using 1 inch allowance for this because I don't really want a lot of allowance on the dress. So 1 inch allowance, and then I'll just mark that across. So for the knee, because I want a bodycon dress, when you go around the knee, you're going to subtract from the hip measurement. So it depends on how fitted you want it. So if you want it like really fitted, so you do the round hip minus 8. That's if you want it really fitted, and if it's a stretchy dress, then you can still move with that. So the round hip minus 8 divided by 4. So my round hip here was 39, minus 8 is 31 divided by 4. That is 7 3/4. So plus the allowance, that will be what the knee. So around the knee and all the way to the full length of the dress, that's what you would have for the measurement. So I'm just joining my lines now to get my pattern out. Join the waist to the hip, the bust to the waist, and the hip to the full length. When I do that, and then I draw the hip curve, so you have to be careful, especially when you're drawing around the round hip. You have to be careful that you have like good lines, so you don't want any curve, any line that is not looking so very good. So around the neckline, I just dip that down by 1 inch so that it's not straight, because I don't want it straight. If you want yours straight, you can leave that straight. So I'm just dipping down by 1 inch to get a curve around the neckline. You can go lower depending on how much lower you want it to be. So that's dependent on you. So once I'm done applying all the measurements, I'll just cut that out. So the full length, they cut out the pattern, and then so once you cut out the pattern, because it's a bodycon dress and I'm going to be using a stretch fabric, I'm not going to need zip, so I don't need a back pattern. So it's this same pattern I'm going to use to cut the front and to cut the back as well. So I'll just cut this out and then go and cut up the pattern and bring it on to show you guys. So I've cut out the pattern here, and this is what I'm going to be using to sew. So I'm going to go to sewing now. First of all, I'm going to cut out the straps. So the strap we're going to use, so we're going to be cutting like a bias cut. So to cut bias, you don't cut that straight, you cut that diagonally on the fabric. So that's what I'm folding my fabric to a diagonal shape, and this is what you're going to use. First, you would need to iron this out, so I'm going to just go off and iron it so that I can cut this out. So once you've ironed it, you'll you know the way bias looks, it's not straight. So that's usually what we use to fold around curves. If you cut it straight, it's not going to do the strap properly because it's straight. Okay, I've gone off and I've cut multiple of the straps. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to sew around the neck. So I'll sew around the neck and turn it and then sew it on the right side. So I'm sewing from the wrong side to the right side and then sew it on the right side. And then once I'm done with that, I'll join the sides and then come and show you guys. So I've joined the sides and turned the neck with the strap. So when you're joining the sides, you don't so I'm not joining everything, I just leave like 2 inches out because I still have to use the strap to turn the armhole and then leave for the sleeve. So I'll go and turn the armhole, and then so once you start from the armhole, and don't forget I left 4.5 inches, so I'll go and take those. So 4.5 for the front, 4.5 for the back. That's a strap of 9 inches to hold the dress. So I'll measure all the way, then take my tape and measure the 9 inches that I left out for the strap, and then where it stops at the 9 inches, I'll now join it to the back. So start from the front, leave out the 9 inches and join it to the back. So that's how you get the strap, and then you turn it. So I've gone and I've done this on one side just to show you guys. So you sew one side. So once you've sewn it, then you now come and turn it to the front to get the strap. Like you sew it on completely around the armhole and the strap, and once you've done that, then you come back and turn it to fold the end, and then sew it on top. Join the sides and then join the bottom, so like fold the ends however you want to end it. Hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.